Welcome to ISE's Equity Index Weekly Outlook, a weekly outlook on ISE and other industry indexes, hosted by Patrick Ceresna, a derivative market specialist and investment manager with extensive expertise in options and the broader derivative markets. ISE trades options on more than 15 proprietary sector indexes, as well as broad-based indexes and a variety of licensed benchmarks. ISE continually enhances its trading systems and develops new index options products to provide investors with the best marketplace and investment tools to trade smarter.
Hello and welcome to the ISE Equity Index Outlook for September 26, 2011. This is Patrick Ceresna. As always, we start off with a chart of the S&P 500 using that spider exchange traded fund symbol SPY. We drew on this flagging formation over the last month, and we've been watching as the market consolidated. In the middle of this week, we began on that Fed announcement another leg lower in this sell cycle, and at this stage the first support line where there's always the chance of a double bottom is right along this 110-111 zone. But because of the degree of the selling that we saw in just those span of those 2 days, it is a much higher probability that the market still has to find a low at a lower point, and which means that if this 110 level is broken this week, we could drop all the way down to the 104, 106 focal point on the downside, and if it becomes a real crash, it could head right down to the 100 level on the downside during the sell cycle. In the much bigger picture, once this sell cycle is done, that probably will mark the low of the year and a buying opportunity. So while the outlook is relatively bearish on the short term, it should all emerge as an opportunity for investors. Next year, I want to take a look at that ISE US Regional Banks Index, which is symbol JLO. Here we continue to have this sideways consolidation with a potential breakdown, just like the S&P. It's on the verge of a breakdown to a lower low. If that happens, there's room for the regional banks to drop all the way down towards the $14 and $15 zone down below. When we take a look at that ISE index, SIN, this index of all the casino, tobacco, and distiller companies, we have a distinct breakdown as well. All the charts are very similar in the way that they actually look at a big consolidation and now breakdown. This index is already broken to a lower low, which at this stage not only opens the window for tests of the 107 and 109, but a full move to the downside would stop all the way down at the 100 to 103 level on the downside. Next, when we take a look at that ISE Home Builders Index, which is symbol RUF, a breakdown of this level also on the downside, it really has opened the window for further deterioration in the home builders. At this stage, there could be a full drop down to $5.50 and $5 on the downside. We drew the focal point down around the $4.55. Now, obviously, on a percentage scale, there's room for it to stop sooner than the $5 area, but a measured move certainly has room to deteriorate even a full 10-20% on the downside, and the home builders still yet to come. Next year, we'll take a look at the ISE Natural Gas Index, which is symbol FUM. Here we have that horizontal triangle breakdown pattern. Again, a measured move to the downside. Doesn't stop until even the 88 to 92 area on the downside. So there's still even at least another $6 downside risk going into this week. Finally, I want to take a look at that ISE Mini FTSE 100 Index, which is symbol UKX. And the FTSE really also broke down out of this little sideways flagging formation. It's right now hovering right at the 500 support line where the lows came in August. But just like the S&P 500, the selling was very intense and has a lot of momentum behind it. It probably will lead to further follow through this week. Our initial downside target lies somewhere around the 480 area marked by the blue box. But if the selling really intensifies, the major bottom on the FTSE may not come in until the 440 to 460 area down below. That was the ISE Equity Index Outlook. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for participating in this week's session. Please join us again next week. For more information about Patrick Ceresna and to sign up for free index options trade